Today's Too Good for Drugs lesson, the focus is on tobacco. In this lesson, we're going to discuss the long-term and short-term effects of tobacco use, perceived norms and actual smoking. We're going to have an opportunity to demonstrate peer pressure refusal techniques, and we're going to become aware of the cost involved with smoking. Now, do you remember our last lesson we talked about alcohol? Can you tell me which alcoholic beverage has more alcohol per serving? Beer, wine, or liquor? Remember, they contain the same amount of alcohol per serving. I have another question for you. Does alcohol give people energy? No. If you answered no, you're correct. It's a depressant. It slows down the body and the way it works. Have you ever seen a tombstone in a graveyard or cemetery? Sometimes they have a poem or a short saying on it. These inscriptions are called epitaphs. An epitaph commemorates the person buried there. Many epitaphs also tell what caused a person to die. Okay? We're going to have an activity to do today together. Okay? In this activity, what you're going to do is you're going to make a copy of the activity in the playlist, and then you're going to complete this activity as directed in this lesson. Okay? Let's take a look here at these top row of tombstones. Okay. The first person up here I want us to talk about is Cindy Sears. Cindy Sears. Beloved daughter Cindy Sears was done to death by a group of peers. That's her epitaph. Candace Reed says, "Here lies beloved Candace Reed. She choked to death on a pumpkin seed." The second one, Henry MacArthur, who lived on the hill, died of shock when he saw his electric bill. You cannot see the rest of Cindy Sears' epitaph. It's on the back, but what we can see, it says, Cindy Sears was done to death by a group of peers, and the back says they dared her to jump from a very high bluff, and that's why her life was not long enough. So we don't want to cave to peer pressure if it's going to endanger us, and it sounds like that's what happened to Cindy. Okay, we have a second row here of tombstones. Okay, now our first tombstone here says Lester Moore. Okay, Lester Moore. The cause of death is currently blank for Lester Moore. Okay, let's see if we can guess what it is. His epitaph says, "Here lies Lester Moore, 4 slugs from a 44, no less, no more." Ooh, what do you think happened to Lester Moore? He was shot. The cause of death was murder. So what you're going to do on your activity is you're going to write in or type in murder in the space above where it says cause of death on the activity. Okay. In the space below, you're going to write the number of deaths per year. On that line, you're going to write 14,196. That is the number of deaths per year based on murder in our country. Sounds like a large number, but let's go on. Let's take a look here at Gracie Barr. How do you think Gracie Barr died? If you said she was hit by a car, you're right. The cause of Gracie's death was a car crash. Take a look at her epitaph. It says, "Here lies Gracie Barr. She met her death by speeding car." Okay. On her cause of death, you're going to put car crash. And below, the number of deaths caused by a car crash each year in our country is 33,782. The middle tombstone doesn't have an epitaph. So let's start with the number of deaths per year. Okay. In the space above the number of deaths per year, you're going to write the number or text the number 443,000. That is a very big number. There's 365 days in 1 year. That equals 1,214. That means if we take this number, 443,000, this is the number of deaths a year, and we divide that by 365 days, that means that 1,214 people die every day in this country from this one thing right here, this cause of death. This cause of death is more than drowning, murder, traffic collisions, heart attacks. It's more than any of these. If you guessed tobacco and tobacco-related illnesses, you would be correct. On your activity, the cause of death, you're going to put tobacco. Number of deaths per year, 443,000. Let's go on. The next activity is tobacco-related diseases. The names of tobacco-related diseases are actually hidden up here in the tombstones in the top row. You'll notice in the top row, some of these letters are underlined. See, the letter A has been underlined. The letter N is underlined. The letters C and E are underlined. H, A, R, T, D, S, E, A, S, E, E. You'll look at each of these. The letters that are underlined, you're going to write them here in this gray box. Then what you're going to do is you're going to unscramble those letters and write the 3 tobacco-related diseases in the 3 boxes. All right, let's go on. In spite of the well-known harmful effects of tobacco use on the body, people choose to smoke and dip anyway. Some people will say, everybody does it. Let's find out if the statement is really true. We're going to do an activity to measure how many people your age actually use tobacco. Okay. Here we have a gauge like you'd see in a car from 0. Oh, this would be a very fast car if it went over 200 miles per gallon. Maybe it's a Lamborghini. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to think, what is your guess for the number of people who actually, number of people your age who actually smoke or use tobacco-related illness or tobacco-related products? For example, if you think everybody uses tobacco, you would say 100%. If you think of only half of the students in your age use tobacco, you'd write 50%. If you think only a few students your age use tobacco, you'd write down maybe 5% or 10%. If you don't think any students your age use tobacco, you would write 0%. So how many people your age use tobacco? What did you write down? 0%, 5%, 10%, 50%, 100%? What did you write? The actual number of students your age who use tobacco products is 7%. 7%. I mean, 7 students your age out of every 100. So, really, not everyone uses tobacco products. In fact, most kids your age decide not to use tobacco. Let's be smart. Don't start using tobacco products at all. Do you think all of your friends will make the decision to be tobacco free? Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully. Some of your friends may choose to use tobacco, and they may want you to join them. We're going to practice a few peer pressure situations involving tobacco. Remember to use your peer pressure refusal skills and plans, and think about those to help you stay tobacco free. I'm going to read the scenarios, and I want you to think to yourself and even state out loud what you would say or do if you were in that situation. For example, number 1, you are standing at a bus stop. Your friend pulls something out of his backpack and says, "I stole a pack of cigarettes from my dad. Want one?" What would you say? What would you do? Let's look at scenario number 2. You're spending the night with a friend whose parents have gone out for the evening. Your friend's older sister offers you a cigarette. What would you say? What would you do? Number 3, while walking to class, your friend says, "I don't want to go to math class today. Skip class with me and we can try some chewing tobacco I took from my brother. He uses it all the time." What would you say? What would you do? Scenario number 4. Your best friend says, "My cousin gave me this cigarette. I've always wondered what it tastes like. Will you try it with me?" What would you say? What would you do? I hope you thought about those peer pressure refusal strategies, okay, to come up with a better idea. The just say no, the walk away, the broken record, ignore, tell him about the consequences and the facts involved with that negative choice, how it might be dangerous or illegal. Okay? Have a plan ahead of time so that you are able to better plan for times when peers, when friends your age might want to get you to smoke cigarettes, try tobacco, or do something dangerous and unhealthy. Green counts. Green counts. Money counts, right? We all like to have a little extra money to spend on things that we want. Let's take a look and think about for a minute how much it cost over the course of a year for 1 pack of cigarettes. On average in California, 1 pack of cigarettes cost $8. So if a person were to smoke 1 pack of cigarettes per day, at the end of that day, that person would have spent $8 on a pack of cigarettes. Now think about how much that would add up to if they smoked 1 pack of cigarettes a day every day of the week. There's 7 days in a week. How much would that be? What if they smoked 1 pack of cigarettes a day, every day, every week? There's 4 weeks in a month. What if that person smoked a pack of cigarettes every day, every week, every month for the year, how much money would that be? The answer is a lot of money. Take a look at this. In 1 week, the person would spend $56 on cigarettes. In the course of 1 month, that one pack a day is $224. But over the course of 1 year, if a person smokes one pack of cigarettes a day, on average, it's $2,688 a year. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of other things I would rather spend $2,688 on. This is the end of our lesson on tobacco. I hope that everyone is smart, they don't start, they consider their peer pressure refusal strategies, and make good choices that always keep us healthy and help us to achieve our goals.